that job with machete back. Sort of a review, sort of a story. So I sort of showed this. I'll explain it in a minute. You can kind of see where this is going to go in a second. But what inspired this? Well, about a little over a year ago, I got this. And I think I did some social media posts about it. And this is the Gaffi War Club from Vulpes Training. Josh and Shunnock worked together on this, and it is insane. It's like half-inch TPE, I think. 1 pound 9 ounces, a little over 1.5 pounds, basically. And then it gets jute wrapped and marine grade resin, flame treated. See all that? And it gives you really grippy. I love it. Obviously, Josh kind of based it off of a Gaffi stick. There's the XL version of this, $110 US, I think, before shipping and stuff. I'll put it in the comments, the pinned comment, for his Facebook and all that stuff. But yeah, anyways, I got this and I love it because it's a war club, and you know I love clubs and I love war clubs. But it was, just this great little design, and at the time, that was when my shoulder was really bad. So this was light enough, like I said, 1.5 pounds, to really let me work on getting the rotational movement back in my shoulder. If you're wondering what the hell this is, it's my umbrella, because otherwise my shiny head blinds the camera. So, but yeah, I absolutely love this damn thing. Worth every penny. And with it being so small and so light, it's great for whatever the hell you want, actually. And with it being a club, you could actually do funky with it. So I had this for over a year, and if you've been following me on other social medias, you know I've had a lot of free time. So I've been doing little projects and shit like that. And I was listening to Shepherd's Reign and looking at some of their videos and stuff like that. Hence the Hawaiian shirt. There's like 3 parts to this, maybe 4. And I was like, I want to build like a Polynesian, Hawaiian, or Maori club. But whenever I make something, I make my version of it. I think if you haven't seen my other club tests and stuff like that, go check them out. But they're typically Polynesian or First Nations inspired. Sometimes a blend. Well, this was the first spot. Listening to Shepherd's Reign was the second part. And then I also listened to Alien Weaponry, which is an amazing thrash metal Maori band. And I've chatted, thankfully, with Turanga every once in a while, and he's, by the way, an awesome guy. Follow him on TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, all of those. Check him out. He's really nice. And yeah, so actually, it was kind of funny because the other day he posted, and I can't remember, I think it was a video or a picture of him with a taiaha. And a taiaha is a Maori staff weapon, for lack of a better kind of analogy. It actually has one portion of it tapered down, and I'd love to show you a picture, but I don't own one. I'll put a link to maybe a Wikipedia article down below, or some pictures or something like that. But one edge is kind of like a paddle and kind of tapers out to both on the flat. Let me put this down. Sort of like this out a little bit, and comes to not quite cutting but not quite crushing edges. And the other side, there's a little spot in the middle where it's almost just similar to a staff, regular simple staff, and then it goes up to, and it can be like nephrite jade, or it can be carved out of wood, but what would almost be a spearhead. Typically I think they're about like that. There's usually fabric or hair or fur that kind of come off of it, and I've seen them carved Like I think I saw a version carved as Maui. I think I saw someone had done it was almost like a Haida inspired one where it looked like it was an orca, and yeah, the art on them could be amazing. There is symbolism to each of it, as there is, with many of the clubs from Hawaii, let's say, that kind of thing. Then this being me, I decided to kind of make Canadian version, sort of, which is why I call it the Miaha. Taiaha inspired, Gaffi inspired, Shepherd's Reign, alien weaponry inspired. I think I was listening to The Who at one point. I was just going all the languages. And then I came up with this. Now, Taiaha, typically a little bit bigger. This is the length of red oak I had. And I have the other half of it, the piece that I cut out from here, and I'm going to turn that into something. Working on a couple of other little wood projects right now. But, let me come close. Trying a bunch of different woodworking ideas on it. This was me trying to, I made a router base, but I couldn't make a fence for it. My wife was actually wonderful and bought me a router table. It was a damaged box, so we got it for an insane price. But yeah, she bought me a router table, so now I can actually do straight lines easier. But yeah, a little bit for a groove, just in case you hear something, you hear my neighbors. Their munchkin is talkative. And I did that on both sides. And then this I actually hand carved on the back. And it kind of gives me a tactile indication of what direction things are facing. I did post a couple of videos of ice smashes with the back end of this. So if I can feel this with my fingertips, then I know that the smashy end is over there. And if I can feel it on the swell of my thumb, then I know the choppy end is over there. So I also did a little gel cut test where I pretty much pushed it through the gel, and I don't know if you can hear it over the wind, but it actually has an edge, as good an edge as I can get on wood. But yeah, you can sort of see, if you squint, after you've looked at the Taiaha photos, you can sort of see sort of what I was going with. This end is almost the spear end, and I decided to go with a swell here because then, very similar to the Gaffi Club, I have a bottom point, which is a nice tactical indicator, and again, I actually even carved in a little notch here so I can feel how close I am. A nice little tactical indicator of me being at the bottom of it. So I've got umbrella, but I've got all that to play with. If I'm all the way down here, it travels a little, well, I'm able to move it a little bit slower, but the end travels a little bit faster, and it gets a lot of thunk to it. And if I've got my hand down here, you might be able to see there's a little swell here. That's roughly where I like resting. I can just pull and pivot, and it gives me a good little snap. It's going to be a rambling video. I'm sorry. So you can see I kind of carved a swedge up here, because if I've got an edge here and a swedge here, and I'm thinking Taiaha-esque, then I can actually use, and I've actually got another groove carved here. Sorry, this thing was, I designed this for me, so I've got another groove carved here, and I can actually just thumb, but it penetrates a bit. Let me know below if you guys want to see more gel tests. I cannot do meat tests. I can do wasp tests. Edmonton has like 10,000 wasp nests this year, but I can't afford to do meat tests because I'm on a very restricted budget until I find a good job or job. Anyways, that job, right? But yeah, it does have enough to actually penetrate if, you know, they're wearing like denim or leather or something like that, it's not going to go in, but it really has a very prominent poke to it. It's right on my bone, and I'm just trying not to poke through. But yeah, like the Miaha, you know, it can be used on both ends. I didn't want to do hair or fur or really anything, so this is sort of the distraction, which I just carved out and then burned in, which was my first time really doing char on something like this. I did char on a little wooden mallet for carving. That was about it. This wasn't originally going to be like this. I had decided to do a groove down the middle, and then this, which you can see varies the thickness, whoop, was the same thickness all through. But as I was working on it, I was using a Arbor-Tech grinding rasp, basically. And it caught right here and kicked off at my groin, while also kind of cutting the wood out here. It caught in my coveralls. Always wear your PPE. I always wear glasses and hearing protection. I might need to get a new set of coveralls though. But yeah, it cut into here and then ripped out some of the wood here. So I just decided to carve the rest of this out with a flap wheel. And I also decided to leave sort of it rough as like an indication of how rough cutting it out was on me. So a little bit of symbolism, I guess. But yeah, it why did I make the Miaha? Because I needed a project, because I was inspired by the Gaffi Club. Okay, a little more height on this side, but it's my left hand, and my left wrist isn't quite back up to it. I should just walk down the street. Can I do them both at the same time? I don't know. Oh, I can. Nice. But, you know, this, inspired by this. By the way, in case you're wondering, nobody's wondering. At this point, probably nobody's still watching, but this one's a little bit longer. I like that aggressive point. But yeah, weight-wise, this started out, sorry, Munchkin's watching me. This started out as about 8.5 pounds full, then I cut it off. So this was about 5 pounds, it's about 3.5 pounds right now. Because of the design of this, the weight is a little distributed over a longer distance. So, like I said, where this one, a lot of the weight is forward, so I definitely feel it. If you're interested, go get yourself one of these or the Gaffi XL. Honestly, Shonak, Chris, depending on how you want to address them, Sionachch, Shonak, Chris. It just depends on whether or not you want to try and remember you're Irish. But yeah, his stuff is awesome. He does some amazing work. I think he's officially got the Zombie Tools training contract, and of course he works with Josh. Josh just did a design, like character design, which is on some of the shirts that is up at Vulpes Training. They're fucking adorable, and they're badass at the same time. So yeah, go check that out. Again, it's going to be pinned in the top comment, so you can get one of these. These, I just make them for me. I have made Paula and Garen, if you're watching this, let me know how those canes are worked out. Anyways, I made a pair of canes for them, and actually this was the same piece, the same long board that I made Garen's cane out of. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I don't paint or anything, I really like, and yeah, I left the scar in there too. I really like how, like, having the beauty of the wood kind of come through. There's a little bit of residue from that gel test. But I like having the beauty of the wood come through when I do woodworking, which is the other reason why I don't often like char things in. This is really just me fucking around. So yeah, but it's like 15 minutes of just me yammering on why the hell I made this. But yeah, if you've never had a chance to listen to, if you like metal, because if you like jazz and you hate metal, you're not going to like these two bands. But check out Alien Weaponry and check out Vulpes Training. Absolutely amazing. If I remember, I'll put links to two of my favorite videos of theirs down below. Check out The Who too, and Bloody Wood. And those are just my recommendations for music. But yeah, probably enough yammering. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Not just for spear, but one of the other things is you can use this end for striking, which is why I did that. It's a little awkward because of the weight, but with the original design, I had thought of kind of gripping down here, so you can get no more of a snap. Obviously, don't know if this is making any sense to anyone who isn't insane like me, but yeah, this is my Miaha, and yeah. The fourth possible inspiration, by the way, was some First Nations clubs, and the fact that it kind of looks like it's half a paddle, which, hey, if you wanted to, you probably could cut a paddle in half and make something like this. And if you do, let us know below. And in the meantime, guys, stay sharp. Yeah, I can't think of a joke, so just ciao.